Hello and welcome to episode 26 of Socketcraft. I've been spending so much time in the Nether that I really haven't spent much time out here in Kyoshi Island, so I've been spending some time with our sheep friends here, making sure to get them a little bit of exercise from where they usually stand guarding their posts. Actually, let's set you guys up here. You guys can hang out here and watch the sunset. And yeah, let's go over and have a look at what we did in the last episode in the Nether Hub. So in the last episode, I finally pushed through and finished off the roof of the Nether Hub. We added in this lava lake way over in the corner with a bunch of Strider friends who are now our inhabitants of the spirit world with a bunch of names, like Peter. Hey Peter. I finally made a proper way for me to get down into the Nether from my Nether Hub, which is just this tunnel down here. And we finished up the roof of the Nether Hub here. I just cleaned it up with some bedrock breaking from below, and then I placed some glass over everything so that you can't really get stuck in the bedrock. And in this episode, I want to continue working on the Nether Hub. I have a whole bunch of tasks that I want to do. I want to first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a time lapse of me laying out where I want things to be built. Then I'm going to think about how the paths are going to lay out, and I want to get all of these portals actually on the floor of the Nether Hub rather than them floating and me having these little steps going up to them. So I've got a lot of work planned out for me ahead in this episode, and I have a little secret thing that I want to put over in the corner with the Striders that I want to put at the end of the episode, which is going to be a little bit of armor stand work that I'm really looking forward to. So without further ado, let's hop into a time lapse. So what we got done in that time lapse is I got my plans put down onto the Nether Hub. I have an idea of where I want to put everything and how I want the paths to go through this area. And for example, here, I want to put a little podium to a person who I feel like the spirit world would have a podium to. We're gonna have a path coming over here to the Striders. And I want to put a little bridge over here, and then I want to put a cave in this corner, and that's what we're going to be doing later on in this episode. And then over in this direction, it's just a bunch more paths bringing you to everything, nether portals or any of the holes in the walls, or places where I want to put holes in the walls. This is another plan that I have for a future episode. So a couple of ghasts spawned, so I decided to swap out the netherrack for leaves because leaves are also a nether block that mobs can't spawn on. So yeah, make sure when you're working on nether hubs to make sure to place down blocks that aren't spawnable, otherwise you'll get ghasts coming in and blowing up all your hard work. So now let's get started on this podium. I'm just going to clear out some space and build up the design that I've designed for the podium, and I'll bring you guys back in. And here's the design I went with for the podium. I went with the, what's this called? Warped slab and dark prismarine slabs is what I used to build this up. Then I placed some warp pressure plates on top to make sure that it's spawn proof. Now we just need to get an armor stand on top, and we need to figure out who we're gonna make this statue of. And let's get all this stuff back. And did I get my head? I don't see it yet. Is it in my inventory? Ah, there it is. We got Iroh's head. We're gonna go put that right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna do some armor stand work with that later. But for now, I want to get started on working on the paths that are gonna connect up to this podium. And we've got the first bit of the paths in place. I'm once again continuing with the warped wood look, and I'm bringing in some of the looks from the prismarine block palette. So we've got prismarine lanterns and dark prismarine here, and I really like the feel that I have here, but I've already run out of sea lanterns, so I'm gonna have to go and, I have to change back into my regular skin. And I have to head to an ocean temple and collect some of these. So I raided entire ocean temple for all of its dark prismarine and sea lanterns, and this is pretty much all of the path that I could fill in. I ran out of the sea lanterns real quick. I have plenty of the dark prismarine left. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I've got 10 sea lanterns left, so I think what I might do now is I wasn't planning on making a Guardian farm in this video, but I really need the blocks, so I'm gonna hop into a quick time lapse of me building up a Guardian farm, and I'm gonna do a voiceover explaining the basics of how the Guardian farming works. But before we hop into that time lapse, I do really like the look of the sea lanterns in here, but I didn't like the look of them from the outside. So what my solution was I just put some warp stairs around everything. And I really wish that you could put water down in the nether, because I feel like waterlogging these stairs would have given a really cool effect. And I checked and tried, you can't put lava in there, that would have been really cool as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of this design of path that I've got going here. Obviously the buttons and the pressure plates are there to keep it spawn proof. And yeah, this is what it was like without the stairs. I really just don't like the sea lanterns popping out everywhere. I feel like that's a lot better. But anyways, let's hop into that time lapse. Before I got started with the build, I made sure to get a lot of potions, glass, dirt, soul sand, and fence gates so I'd be ready for the build. I made sure to get a lot of invisibility potions and water breathing potions, and anytime I was in the water, I made sure I was invisible and only had one piece of armor on. I found the center of the farm and made sure to put a square marking that, and then we found the front and the back of the farm and we went out 14 blocks, and then to the sides we went out 16 blocks and filled that area in as a square with dirt. After that was filled in, we put up a glass wall, and then we will put in our fence gates inside this, all cascading down towards the center. And these fence gates are here so that you can put flowing water on top, which will guide all of the guardians towards the killing chamber. Once the fence gates are down, we put our flowing water on top, and then once the flowing water is on top, we want to go underneath and make sure that all of this area is also filled with water. Now I want to take a moment to just say this is a Cubfan 135 design, so if you want to know more, there's going to be a link to the actual tutorial in the description. Now let's get started on the killing chamber. We're going to go to the end of the drop chute, dig down, and make sure the guardians are falling onto a set of hoppers. You want to build up some walls so that they're not going to be able to see you. And then we're going to get some trap doors in place and a dispenser in the back with a water bucket, so we're able to make this into a player kill farm or an AFK farm. Then we go up to the top and we're going to put some lava down for the guardians to go through before they reach the bottom to get them pre-damaged. And after that we go through and we wipe out all the blocks of the Guardian Temple, put a bunch of soul sand at the bottom, and the soul sand at this point isn't flowing all the way to the top, so we cover it with kelp, and then I go around the outside of the kelp with bone meal, making sure all of the outside kelp grows all the way to the top, and this will cause all the blocks in the middle to also become source blocks. And now once we get rid of the dirt and get rid of the kelp, all of the bubble columns will go right up to the bottom of the fence gates, pushing all the guardians up and then into the flowing water, down towards the center and into the killing chamber. And down in the killing chamber, the guardians are all collecting up. You just have to make sure to keep an eye on your health, because they can see you when you're in there attacking them, and the thorns does quite a little bit of damage as well. But yeah, it turns into an AFK farm by pressing this button, getting rid of the water. And let's just get rid of the guys bouncing around. And I've already been using this farm a bunch. Let's see, we've got, yep, that's looking good. We've got a lot of that, and I've already got enough sea lanterns to probably maybe finish off the rest of the Spirit World path. So let's head back over there and see how much we can get done. Before I continue working on the path, I should really look at getting these nether portals onto the ground. So I'm gonna, let's get this guy onto the ground right now. And I think this is what we're going with for the nether portal design. Now, the one thing about this nether portal design is that the concrete is going to be interchangeable on all of the portals. So I'm going to use the concrete as an identifier to know which portal I'm at, because when you come out of a portal in this place, you everything kind of looks the same unless you see this over here. So that's what the plan for the portals are. Now let's head into a time lapse of me working on this path and putting a few more of these portals in place. And welcome back from that time lapse. I got a ton of work done on the paths. It actually has been across 2 days, but we've now got paths going all the way around the Nether Hub, and we've decorated up, is that all of the portals? We've only got one more portal to decorate. I can't believe I forgot about this one. Yeah, I've only got one more portal to decorate. I don't know what color I'll make this one. Maybe yellow, that kind of represents the end. But yeah, I've also started putting in what I'm going to have as my trees for the Nether Hub. So these are my giant lily pads. Here, I'll put up some reference photos from Legend of Korra where you see the spirit world a lot, and you see a lot of these giant lily pads around. So I'm really trying them out in the spirit world Nether Hub, and they're really actually suited. I think they look good. Let me know what you guys think about the lily pads, but I think they look great. And as you can see, I do still have a few more paths that I need to put in, but I've been doing so much path making already. I'm just sick of it by now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on my next project, which is just going to be quickly doing some armor stand work on Uncle Iroh. So let me go grab some stuff and my armor stand book. So I grabbed a few things for what I'm going to do to Uncle Iroh, and first off we have his outfit. Now, I think he'd be wearing something from his Earth Kingdom days while he's in here, because you can see in the show that he wears the Earth Kingdom stuff when you see him in the spirit world. So that's what we're going with today, with a nice green outfit. I think he's looking pretty fly. What do you think? And now let's grab the armor stand book and let's get him. We do not want the base plate. Okay. We want to show arms. Okay, now what pose could he be doing? We'll go to pose presets. And I'll have a look through these and see which one I think is the best. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with this pose for this armor stand. We're gonna go with, what was it in the preset book? It was called Confident. Yeah, Confident. And now, so what I want to add to Uncle Iroh is, of course, I want Uncle Iroh to be holding a teapot. So what I think I'm gonna do here is gonna try to turn this and this into a teapot. Now let's see what I can do. And that's the teapot. What do you guys think? So if we come up close, I ended up switching out the second lead for a stick, but I think it works really well. So you have Iroh here proudly carrying his teapot. And here, let's put on the front here, Iroh, the dragon of the West. Okay, let that with some dye. That looks great. All right, what do you guys think about this? We finally have Iroh in our world. That's kind of a staple in any Avatar: The Last Airbender world. Anyways, let's head on to the last project of the episode. Way off in this corner, let's dig out a little bit of a cave. Wow, you guys are really lining this thing. Dig up a little bit of a cave into here, and I want to add what's his name? Ko, the face stealer? I think it was something like that. We're gonna do a armor stand. Can you guys be quiet? I'm trying to do a video here. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna build up Ko, the face stealer, and he's gonna have his little den in the corner there. And that's what I'm gonna use to store all of my micro block heads, like Uncle Iroh's head over there. So I'm gonna move that out of my main storage and have a good spot to store all of that in this cave over here. And that cave is now complete. If we come over here, you can see I've gone with another blackstone theme over here with a lot of black concrete in the floor with glass to make sure it's all spawn proof. And I actually need to put down a bunch of pressure plates here to make this spawn proof. And now all that's left to do is build up Ko, the face stealer. So I'm gonna build him up somewhere around here. And this is going to be the last time lapse of the episode. So let's get started. And here we have Ko, the face stealer built up, and I have to be honest with you, I'm not too happy with how it turned out, but I can still see it. So it's basically, I'm imagining Ko's coming out of the wall here, and all these leather pants are kind of the tentacles that you see on Ko, and in here's the center where Ko's face is. And make sure if you're going to look at Ko to have a straight face, otherwise Ko will steal your face. I don't really have to worry about that because I don't have a mouth, and it's really easy to keep a straight face when you don't have a mouth. So really all that's left to be done is to dig out a room over here to store all of the face extra mob heads and custom heads that I collect in this world but I'm running out of time for this episode, so I think I'm gonna have to call it here. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Water Tribe out.